are on the Coexist podcast with Sakani and my sister Ashe, where we talk to upcoming creatives in and about Pan-Africa. Remember to subscribe to check out our next episode. And now for more with John Boy on the beat. Okay, I mean, this may be a little off topic, but with that, do you feel like the whole nice guy thing is like people don't respect that, or people just kind of try to take advantage of it in some places rather than...
Oh, we talking about dating now.
Maybe off topic, but...
All right, so on the dating thing, for me personally, I live under a rock. So I'm not really out and about like that. And when I see people I like, I usually don't speak because I'm used to being rejected. And as a child, getting rejected was a hard thing for me. It was deep for me because I felt like I was rejected from my parents, from my mom and dad, being raised by my grandmother. So I'm married now. And I remember meeting my wife in the 3rd grade. I was 8 years old. And I remember what she wore. I remember every detail about her because she was the first person I remember who accepted me for who I was, and it made me feel great. Going through all the traumatic things as a kid and going through, feeling neglected from your mom and dad, whether it's subconscious or consciously, it's like, wow, this person truly likes me for who I am. And then I remember when she broke up with me, still in the 3rd grade, she ripped up my photo, threw it at me. The jewelry I had got for her out of the bubblegum machine, she broke it and threw that too. And it crushed me. I couldn't function the rest of the day. And I remember my cousin came into town. He took me to my baseball practice. I wasn't paying attention to nothing. I almost got hit in the head by the baseball because I was just so deep into my feelings. I was crushed. And I'm 33 years old right now, and I still remember that.
The feeling and everything.
The feeling, the hurt, what she...
Jeez.
Everything.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, like, guys don't talk about the rejection piece because it seemed like it's something that, I guess, at least for girls, they're like, that's what they have to do,
I think a lot of guys are afraid to feel or to show their feelings because we feel like women won't respect us because of it or think that we're less of a man.
Wow, why do you guys feel that way?
Because we're told to be men. We're told to man up. We're told to not express certain things because it shows weakness and people take advantage of you.
Right.
Oh, people take advantage.
Do you feel like now that you're able to have the freedom to have those expressions and emotions within your relationship and even in other parts of your life?
It depends on who you're dealing with. There are some people who are used to being a certain way, and even in their adulthood, they try to change those things, but kind of bad habits die hard type of thing.
Right.
It's very rare that I meet people who, can see me past, I don't know how to put it. I lost where we were.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about dating, rejection, men being able to express their feelings without feeling like, I guess, being taken advantage of. And like, where do you feel like you're in that process now that you're grown? We're not 9 in the 3rd grade anymore. How has that evolved?
I've always, when I was a kid, I couldn't really express how I felt. And my grandmother, she raised me. She was everything to me. She was my friend. my mother, my father, my grandmother. Um, I would say the relationship I had and still have with my grandmother is different. It's not average. Um,
Hmm.
I went through a lot of things as a kid, and she was the only person who would allow me to express myself in any way that I needed to. She supported me with my music. Um, she bought me a drum set. My dad had bought me one,
Wow.
and I remember him saying that he was going to take it because I either did something or wouldn't do something. And my grandmother, she went and bought me an even better drum set, so then no one could take that.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
everything as a
she's
kid.
she's been my rock. She's the reason why I survived this long. Yeah,
Dang. Is she still
yeah,
around? Yeah, wow. So you can still reach out to her and everything.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
yo, just sending love to your grandma like right now. Honestly. Yeah, love to all the grandmas, all the moms who are like really keeping us going and praying for us every night and just really like, yeah, just strengthening us.
Yeah.
Just shout out to all of them right now.
I had a question from earlier. He talked about God and a higher power. So I just
Yeah,
wanted
let's
to
go
know
there.
maybe your religious preferences are, or just how that impacts your music in your life.
Okay. I was raised Christian, Christian background, Christian family, and I've always believed in God. I I fasted for the first time, like really fasted for the first time in my life, maybe last year. Can't
Wow.
remember the month. And my whole perception on things started to change. I started to see things differently. I started feeling differently. I had stopped doing things I used to do. Um, and I had this confidence about me where it was like, if God didn't tell me, then I'm not worried about what you're saying. Um, I felt like I was on the right path, and I was going through a lot of negative, I had to go through a lot of negative hurdles around me when I felt elevated. I felt like everybody around me was trying to bring me back down. Um, Things started to change after COVID hit, and I had lost faith. To be honest, I had gradually lost faith, and I had lost my belief, and I started to go down a downward spiral for real. It seemed like once I felt elevated, all these different things started to come to me. Um, Different beliefs started to come, or I started to become enlightened about more things that was out here in the world. You know what I mean? Um, I learned about the stones and how that would be helpful to me. I learned about meditating, and I've learned that there are different entities, and it's real. I've learned about witches and warlocks. I've met them. I've made friends with them. I found out there were family members that dealt in the dark arts. Um, a lot of things started to be revealed to me once I did that. And then I became unsure about what road I should be taking. And if you listen to my music, you can hear it. You can hear how I talk about the planets and the stars, and you can hear how I'm talking about the solar system. You can hear how I'm talking about I had met this witch, and I thought I was attracted to her. I was going through a hard time, and things weren't really going right in my world, and so I started searching for something. I started searching for better relationships because I really didn't have friends growing up. And that's something that, I really wanted to have, real friends. And, Ashe, I consider you as a real friend because, you were there for me without really wanting anything in return. You didn't really know me like that. And like I told you before, I admired you from afar. You know, um, I didn't really know you like that, but I knew there was something about you. So,
Damn, I appreciate that because we just started talking and I just really wish we had a chance to talk back in Virginia,
yeah.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Things happen for a reason, and everything has its timing. And I met you at the right time.
And see, well, I can't remember our first conversation because we've had a couple since then. But I just felt so humbled that you even felt comfortable enough to reach out to me and talk to me and to feel like you could, you know what, honestly, talk to a Black woman, like that you could, that, there's so many things kind of just against the Black man and the Black woman in America. Things that I've grown up seeing. I have my own trauma with that. I was just talking to Sakani about that. We were talking about that earlier today. And to even for someone of the opposite sex in my culture to feel like they could reach out to me and heal me, and then I can give you some type of healing as well. That's everything to me. I didn't have any Black male friends growing up, and not until I got to Virginia, and not until I got into college. And it just stuff like that really, it matters to me, those type of connections and stuff, because I didn't have that when I was a kid, and just because I saw the level of disrespect that the men and women had towards each other in certain parts of the country,
Yeah.
So just to be able to have that connection with somebody, and it's someone of the opposite sex and all that kind of stuff, is so important to me, and it's so important to me for community building and stuff. So I really appreciate that, and I'm so humbled, like super humbled. Yeah.
No, I appreciate you because oftentimes when I come honest like that, I get rejected. I get pushed away, or somebody
But
tries
rejected how?
like I was able to say those things to you and maintain a friendship, right? I could say the same thing to someone like a Virginia native, and they will either try to take advantage of me, like try to trick me out of money, or try to make me buy things, or it'll be like I'm not worth their time.
Yeah, I think that's wow.
Or try to
go on. I don't want to push you off.
Or like they're just trying to benefit off of you rather than just be with you as a person.
Right. You know, be with me as a person, grow as a person, just be friends, share stories. I mean, it's not often, and I haven't had that all my life until recently. I made a friend. She made these beads, like this bead set right here.
Mm-hmm.
She made this, and I liked it. I was genuinely liking her. And so, I met with her to go buy her jewelry, and I originally didn't meet her at first. I ended up going to a store, and then later, I met with her because I saw another piece that she had created that I wanted to purchase, and we became real cool after that. Yeah, she was attractive. You know, yeah, she was. She had a lot, going for herself. But she taught me some things, and I'm pretty sure I helped her with a few things. We had some things in common, like we both like plants. We like to grow plants. Um, and it was just real cool. I respected her, she respected me, and that's what we all really want, right? Respect.
Yeah.
I don't have to date you in order to respect you or to know that you have value.
I think, yeah. I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, a lot of times people see the male and female relationship only as like a relationship. Like, you have, like, the only way you can be is if that's your partner, not it just being platonic. Because there's so many of us out here. Like, not everybody is meant for everyone, but there is things that you can contribute to someone's life, and it doesn't have to be in that way.
Right.
So, like, I mean, the fact that you talked about that is, I mean, it's very, like, key. And I think it sounds like, would you say that you kind of are selective about the people that you put energy into, that you kind of accept into your life?
Right.
So,
I personally, but I know what you're saying is definitely true, though.
Yeah, I have a similar approach. Like, it takes me time. Like, I really create friendships with people before or get to know them before, like, I feel like it's someone I can call on or talk with, and then it's like a continuous abundance of us just supporting each other and contributing to each other's life in different ways than we may have first anticipated.
And I understand that, and I understand why so many people have their guard up, because you never know who you're dealing with or what their intentions are, right?
Yeah.
But if I know what my intentions are, then it really doesn't matter what your intentions are.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
That's a good way to put
if you're if you're focused, yeah. So I just thought of so many different things. Just wow. This is kind of like one of those serious topics. Even though it's kind of a mundane topic, it's serious too. Because relationships and connections are everything out here. And it seems like we really do take them for granted. And a lot of us get hurt. A lot of us, I was just telling Jason how there's women out here, they have you in their phone as free food. They have you in their phone as, let's keep it real. Like there are women who are like that, and there is a culture that teaches that as well. There are women out here on YouTube who teach that. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Just like there's men out here who teach stuff like that with men. I have definitely been played for money on the male side as well. So I don't know if a lot of women talk about that yet. I've seen some stuff on Twitter of some women talking about that kind of stuff.
I feel like it's too much separation in between us.
Yeah.
Instead of us,
it really is. Yeah.
Being honest with each other, we're too busy trying to play a game.
Right.
And instead of being truly who we are and what we're really designed to be.
And just being real with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't have to be attracted to me to respect me.
Yeah.
And you don't have
But
to.
your soul is attracted though, in a way. Do you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There is a connection with energy to be able to share a space with someone on a deeper level. Yeah. Um, I don't know. The physicality thing is really, uh, it's kind of a younger mindset to me, but I don't want to take away from someone else's priority. That might be someone else's priority. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
I feel like physicality sometimes can be an initial set point into why you might speak to that person, or but I think there's also like this unspoken thing, or that sometimes like this could not be anybody that you might think of as attractive, or but you're drawn to have a conversation with them or invite them to an event or embrace them into your life just because you're like, this person, like, I don't know what it is, but I think we're gonna be cool, or we should be friends, whatever it is. Like, I admire you, or they might inspire you in some ways. And I think that initial spark for something might be physicality, and it might be something else. And it just depends on that person. But I think that unspoken thing is important, because you really don't know maybe how someone's going to impact your life.
I mean, you never know how someone can impact your life. Even if it's a negative experience, they can teach you something. My grandfather told me when I was a little boy that God is everywhere. So like when he told me that, that touched my heart and it showed me something deep, and I ended up teaching him something. He told me he was about to cut one of the trees down that I planted. And I said, "Granddaddy, don't do that. Don't cut the tree down." And he said, "Why not?" I said, "It's a home."
Mm.
He said, "The house is right there." I said, "Yeah, we live there, but look close at the tree. Do you see what lives on the tree?" I said, "The birds live in the tree. Those bugs live in the tree. That's the birds' food." I said, "This tree is providing so much more. It's a life. It's living. This is a whole world right here. And if you cut that tree, you're destroying the world."
Mm.
I'm not a tree hugger or nothing, like that. I'm not, I'm just that was my perception as a little boy of that tree, and everything that lived in it.
it was
That's
true.
beautiful.
It
It's
was true.
it's real. Like everybody, you can find God in everything, in anyone. And I tend to see the good in people, even in bad people. You can see some type of good inside of them.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and wow, it's just so interesting. If you think of people the way you thought about that tree and how many lives they're providing for, and people that they're inspiring, and people that they have strength for and they're calling for and keeping up with their lives, it's so much more than just, I don't even know. I don't even know, like, just to just use someone and not see the wholeness
Yeah.
is
It just
I
goes.
guess mundane and
It
petty, I
comes,
guess.
it comes to looking deeper than the surface. You can look at something and you see one thing, but if you look deeper, you can see a multitude of things.
Mm. Do you feel like a lot of people are just focused on surface level and they're not really searching deeper within themselves and others?
Absolutely.
So I guess, what am I trying to get at? But how do you get to a point where you continue to have that connection with yourself? Like, you talk about your going with a feeling and having faith. Like, how do you continue to do that when we are so kind of media focused, or first perception based?
Well, you have to look within yourself. Sometimes you have to come away from the social media a little bit. You have to come away from the advertisements, because a lot of those things play a role on your insecurities.
Yeah.
They touch on your insecurities to make you. I think Ashay, you spoke on this before. How they kind of play on your insecurities to make you feel like you have to do or be or have more in order to be valued. Right. I used to feel that way. I used to feel like I had to have this toy in order to have a friend, or to be noticed in order to gain a friend. I used to feel that I had to act a certain way in order to be valued by the opposite sex. And I can't be anything else but me, because I'm not comfortable being anything else but me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sorry.
You okay?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I would never think you were insecure, or, just first meeting you, or first, like, even looking at you. I would never, ever be like, oh, this is someone who's insecure. This is someone who's shy. I don't think I would ever get that vibe from you, honestly. Would you, Sakani? I don't think I would get that.
I mean, maybe I haven't met you like in a physical space. Right now it seems like you know yourself. But I usually, like, even for me, like, I realize like you go through a time where you don't know yourself to learn who you are. So is that something that you feel like you went through? Like there's just a time where you were just confused, or you were trying to learn?
I feel like I've always known myself. I was just afraid to be myself.
Okay. That's a good word.
Yeah. I think we all know who we are and what we like, but we're afraid to do that because we're afraid to be rejected by others.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it, because I think it's like you have all these outside voices being like, you should do this, you should do that, this would be good for you. And you're like, okay, maybe they're right.
Right. So let's say
I just got my grandma.
let's say I'm gonna use this as an example. I'm gonna say this. I'm a straight man. I am heterosexual. So that means I like the opposite sex. But for someone who is homosexual, they will be closeted because they're afraid of being rejected by their friends and family.
Right. Losing.
But for a long time, they felt something inside of them, or they want something, or they want to be a certain way, but they're afraid to do that because they're afraid of rejection. And sometimes they will go over the top once they do come out, because it's like, I don't care. It's like kind of rebellious. Like, I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna do it to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Wow, this is so deep.
Right.
Yeah, keep talking about this.
It's like you're so
yeah, you go all the way.
That once you open that box, you're just completely you.
Right. So like for me, I've always liked. I grew up watching horror movies.
Right.
I grew up seeing different types of homes, seeing people from different backgrounds. I would say I was pretty well rounded when it came to being around different types of people. But still, as a kid, afraid to do what I like, or to be or create the reality that I wanted to create, due to rejection of others. No one changed the world by fitting in.
Damn.
Gems.
It's true.
No,
It's true.
yeah.
In order to create change, you have to be change. And I pay attention to a lot of things. Sometimes things, you influence more people than you think.
Mm.
And I started, you notice I have the blue lights in here. And I've always been attracted to the blue light. Then I started noticing that I was like, man, a whole lot more. I'm seeing a whole bunch of producers with blue lights and LED lights inside their studio.
Because it's fly.
Yeah, like,
it's fly.
I may not give you credit for it, but and you don't always have to have credit. You should be okay without getting credit. If you're an influencer, you should be happy that you influence people.
Right.
Wow, can you talk deeper about that?
All right, so I think when it comes to people in business in general, I think people get to a point where they forget how to be humble. I think people, especially in Virginia, don't know how to be humble and confident at the same time.
Wow.
I feel that a lot of people are skeptical and really don't want to give credit to anyone else but themselves. And I think that's why everybody feels like they gotta grind in the mud and build everything up on their own, because they want the ability to say, I did this on my own. This is mine. I did this. Nobody helped me. Even if they got help, man, nobody helped me get here. You got some help.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
I got personal experience of that, so that hit me in a whole other way. But one of the things Connie and I were talking about is how, like, we want to make sure we get people from different economic backgrounds on here. So whether you feel like you've made it, or you're just a startup, or you've been doing this for a while, what are the things that you've learned in business, doing business with people?
Okay.
If somebody was just getting into, music production, and maybe they wanted to make some money off of it, if you want to talk about your failures, I'm still being kind of general, but I hope you kind of see where I'm going.
All right. You want me to be transparent?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've made a lot of mistakes. The first mistake I did was not believing in myself. And I still struggle with that. The second mistake was not admitting to myself what my flaws and my weaknesses were.
Wow. Okay. How would that have helped? Because, not everybody wants to even go there with themselves,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't want to admit that they're flawed. But once you admit that you're flawed, you can improve your flaws.
Right.
It took me years to admit to myself that I have ADD. And I have a hard time focusing. I really do. I can't even read a book completely because I lose focus and I lose interest really quick. I have a hard time sticking to things because, again, my mind drifts and I get wrapped into something else. You can hear it in my music. You can hear it when my beats change. I went from this one thing into a whole new vibe,
Some of the old school songs do that though too,
I know.
Like Stevie Wonder does that.
Yeah, I know.
So is it genius?
It could be. It's all in perspective.
Okay.
That's in perspective. They call Einstein dumb.
They sure did. You're right.
So,
yeah.
What could be my weakness could be my strength, but it's all in perspective. And I feel that the way things are right now, especially with the system, it's not working in my favor. when it comes to finances, and having my ducks in a row when it comes to having certain things in order. I see what my weaknesses are, and it's affecting me. It's affecting me. It's affecting the people around me. And I'm taking action to change that. And I want to say this, I'm a black man, and there's no shame in getting therapy. There's no shame in seeing a therapist, and there's no shame in getting help when you need help. If you are drowning, there's nothing wrong with getting a life preserver.
Wow, definitely. Do you feel like the hardest part is charging people, wanting to pay for your work, knowing where to put your work?
Partially, I think it's for me, it's a lack of education. I've been to 3 different colleges and I haven't finished one.
Okay.
I feel that I have the talent, I have the ability, but there are pieces missing. And what those pieces are, I don't know what all those pieces are. And the people that I thought I could talk to and kind of get guidance from to help me with those things, they turn out to be kind of shysty. And
wow.
I'm gonna give you an example. If I know I can make $100,000, right? And it's supposed to be split between 4 people, and all 4 people are doing, serious work, but they don't know I'm bringing in $100,000. So I just pay them $10,000.
Okay, like a P. Diddy type of setup.
Like a thing where it's like, I want to help you, and you can have this, and I want to give you this, and I'm going to give you that. Not really telling, it's like they know the business, they know the rules of the game, and you don't really know the rules of the game, but they're telling you to play this game when you don't really know the rules and understand the rules of the game. So that gives them an advantage over you. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And instead of
so now we're getting to some music industry type of stuff that's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, so if you know the rules of the game, you know how to play the game, then you know you're going to win every time, right? And you're playing with people who don't know how to play the game. They don't know the game. They don't know how to play the game, but you do. You know the rules. And then it's like, all right, come with me. I'll take care of you. I'll make sure you eat. But they're not giving you what you deserve. Or they're trying to set it up in a way where you don't know you're getting the short end of the stick.
Right.
Or they're telling you, hey, I'm going to teach you all this, but everybody else is going to get this. That's not right. If you know you can make me $50,000, but everybody else is only going to get $2,000. But we all
is a month's worth of income. Like,
right.
Not even, yeah.
But I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me I can eat, you're gonna make me eat like this, but my homeboys and the people I'm trying to bring up with me aren't gonna eat, they're not gonna eat right, then why should I trust you?
Right. Yeah.
Why should I trust you with my business, with any of my stuff? If I know that you're coming in shysty, you're coming in a way where you're trying to kind of pull the wool over somebody's eyes. What they don't know don't hurt them. That means you'll do that to me.
do you feel like with creativity, like that's difficult to kind of go by someone else's agenda?
It depends on the situation and what's being created.
Okay.
So let's say you're a brand, right? And you're looking for a particular sound that fits your brand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to understand you and match your energy with the music.
Okay.
To match to so that it flows with your brand. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So when it comes to that, I'm taking a part of myself and meshing it with your brand so that even though it's a part of me, it's tailored to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I'm so humbled, honestly. Like, I'm honored. When I tell you have like talent, I thought you was already like doing your stuff. Real talk.
I mean,
and
I've gotten to the point where I can distribute. I can go through a distributor. Anyone can. I mean, I make my own music.
Okay.
I write my own lyrics.
I didn't know that.
And you didn't know I made the music?
I don't think she heard you.
I'm sorry?
You didn't know what?
I didn't know that anybody could get a distributor.
Yeah, like there's so many different distributors, music distributors you can go through. So
wow.
There are some that are free, and there are some that you have to pay a subscription to.
Oh, okay.
But I think a lot of producers, a lot of singers, a lot of songwriters, they don't really know how to get their music sync licensed. So, and that's one thing I really don't know how to do, and really have the how can I put it? Like I told you, I can't get through a book because of ADD.
Right.
So when it comes to this, the jargon of of licensing and the paperwork,
When it comes to the paperwork, like, I can be creative all day.
Right.
When it comes to like having all the business stuff in order and making sure that you're in compliance with laws and everything.
Man,
I'm facing some stuff right now. I'm being transparent. Like right now, the city is like, yo, we want you to have a business license because you have a business in our city. Because I have an LLC.
Right.
Whoa.
But it's like, okay, cool, but even though I'm doing multiple things, I'm not really doing anything that would cause me to have a city license. You know what I mean?
And they still want they want that money, huh? Don't you have to pay money to get a city license?
Yeah.
The city wants their tax on you.
Right.
Wow.
Like, I already have a state license. Now they want a city license.
They definitely do that.
Yeah.
Damn.
If I don't get one or go talk to somebody, then they can charge me with something, you know, and there's penalties.
So either way, they're going to get their money, basically.
Yeah, either way.
America.
Tick, 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 talk, talk, talk. Tick, 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 talk, talk, talk. Tick, 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 talk, talk, talk. Tick, down, boy, on, talk, talk, talk. Tick, 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 tick,
some say we have time on the palm, but the time don't stop. I watch the clock run a marathon. Every astronaut important to the grind I'm on. Only right I drop bombs like it's Vietnam. Still I try to stay calm through the storm. The old me dead, don't have time no more. Time to get up out of bed, it's a brand new morning. Thank you to the sun for the energy that's pouring over my head. DNA activated, shining like I'm marinated. The only virus that I ever advocated is spreading love, wanting you to get contaminated. I know I'm animated, y'all my spirit elevated, don't need to be validated. I got the sauce like I'm marinated. If the time is money, get the time regulated so the money circulated. I don't want to waste time with you. Are you my boo or are you through? There's so many options I could choose. It's time to make a move, cause we don't have time to lose. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. I'm on my grind. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. I'm on my grind. Stop wasting my time.
Oh, killing it. Killing it.
Yo.
Okay.
Can we get a Spotify playlist, a YouTube playlist that we can put on the podcast YouTube? So if people want to just hit your playlist and go, they can do that.
All right, so I have several.
Okay.
There's I put out an album with my brother-in-law. That's
Okay.
That's a good question. GOOD, QUESTION with a question mark at the end. The name of that album is called Test Sample.
Test Sample.
Then there's singles that I've released. Just search JonBoyOnDaBeat, JonBoyOnDaBeat.
Does it matter what platform?
I'm on every platform.
Okay.
Certain platforms are going to have more music than others because I went through different distributors.
Okay.
And there's one song that's out there that I never wanted to come out, but it is out, and it's one of my earlier creations. I tried to take it off, but for some reason that one is still out there on one of the platforms. I'm not going to say what platform that is. But yeah.
People definitely will be like, oh, let me look for that one.
Right. You're going to have to.
Okay.
Yeah, that one might.
Or some of the singles.
Say what now?
Some of the singles that you want to really put out there.
Hurting Inside. I really want that out. That came from. I created that after receiving some bad news about a family member who was sick.
Wow. And
Take
all of these.
Say again.
I was just saying, all of those tracks were fly.
Oh, thank you. These tracks that I played for y'all aren't out yet.
No way.
Hey.
The only one that I played for y'all that's out is Hurting Inside. But everything else I played for you is not out yet.
Wow. Okay. So we have exclusives.
You did.
Special.
Hey y'all, thanks for joining us this last episode. We hope that it was inspiring and that you truly enjoyed the art. Now make sure that you follow us on Instagram at coexist.podcast. And make sure to follow the artists and to share their art as well, because that's what this is all about, enjoying the art and sharing the love. But also subscribe so that you can get the latest and upcoming episode. We'll see y'all next time.